Hello everyone, my name is Michaela, Cinematic Stitches here on YouTube, and welcome to my channel all about cross stitch. It is somehow nearly the middle of May. This month is flying by, kind of crazy. It is an absolutely glorious day out there. I don't know what the weather's like for everyone else, but here in Vancouver it is glorious. Really, really nice. I'm going to be walking to Granville Island later today, and I'm very excited. Granville Island's like a little, kind of like a really artsy, fun area. There's a big public market. If you're in Vancouver, you should check out Granville Island. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing very well. Hope you have a nice drink with you. Your stitching's ready. I'm going to be getting to the stitchy stuff really quick, but first off, I just want to say, I saw the Northern Lights here last night and that blew my mind. I took some kind of crappy pictures I'm going to put up here because I was astounded. I've been very lucky. I've seen the Northern Lights once before, and that was 2 years ago now. We were in Waskesiu, which is like central Saskatchewan. If anyone knows where that is, it's like there's something called Prince Albert National Park. It's really big, so we were in the dark and we could really see the lights. But I'm in the city, like literally in the city, so I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to see these, but there was like this crazy solar storm, is that what you call it? A solar storm? Something happened. Solar flares occurred, and there was a big like electromagnetic storm, essentially. And that caused the Aurora Borealis to like go down way lower than it normally does. So I know like people I know in Washington were able to see this as well. And I could actually see them from like within the city, which I thought was crazy because I'm like, there's definitely way too much light pollution. Like there's no way we're gonna see it. But I went to the park that's kind of by my work and I could see the lights. It was so cool. So I like lay on my back in the park for like an hour at like around midnight. Like, I'm sure this is fine. I was surrounded, a bunch of other people were watching it too. I wasn't alone. But it was just really incredible. And I just wanted to share that. Mark it down in your calendar, folks. On, what was it, May 10th? On May 10th, Vancouver saw the Northern Lights. Very cool. Anyway, let's actually talk about some stitching. I just had to like geek out there for a moment because it was so cool. It's really beautiful. Okay, stitching. I've touched a lot of projects recently, like a lot. So let's start with some finishes. And by finishes, I'm kind of talking about like partial finishes of projects, like finishing sections essentially, but I'm counting them as a finish nonetheless. So first up, I showed this last video. I was very close to finishing this section, but I finally did. Very excited to say. Oh, well, let me introduce it first. This is the Castle Homecoming Sal from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It is complete. Like this Sal finished this year. Sal is a stitch along for those who don't know, but the stitch along finished this year in February. This is what the finished product looks like. Last time we spoke, I was here. I was almost done the dragon, and I couldn't finish it by the time we had to film. So I was like, whatever, we'll do it next time. But I finished the dragon. Look at it. Oh my God. So cute. So this is the third section, I believe, now finished for this project. It's probably the last time I'm going to touch it this year, I'm going to be honest, because I want to focus on some other pieces that are like more likely to be finished. I worked on this as part of a whip go call, and it's looking pretty good so far. This is on a 28 count linen. It is Valor from Picture This Plus. I got this as like a kit that the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery put together when they released this Sal last year. Anyway, it's just very cute. I mean, everything Frosted Pumpkin does is extremely adorable. Like extremely cute. So this one I couldn't pass up. I was like, oh my God, I love like fantasy and medieval stuff. So there we go. Done the dragon. Okay, next up, I finished April's release for D's 20 Stitches Stitch for Pride Sal. So this is a year-long stitch along, and every month a new pattern is released that pays ode to a queer artist. You get like a whole like fact sheet about the artist with like all these links you can check out for further learnings. And each month comes with a pattern. So I am stitching mine as a spot sampler. So all the pieces are going together on one big piece of fabric. So last time I was here, I hadn't quite finished this, but now she's done. Isn't that cute? I used the called for DMC on this pattern. The other the other releases, pattern releases, I've just been kind of going through my stash and picking out thread I thought would look cool, but this one just went with the called for DMC. There it is though. It looks so cool. I love the kind of like Polaroid, yeah, the little Polaroids you make. So this piece is an ode to the Kiss and Tell Collective, which is a Vancouver-based artist group. And this group fought the marginalization of lesbian and queer women in art, media, and popular culture. So that is super cool. This says, where do you draw the line? Very nice. I love it. Oh, Husker. My cat's chewing some of my fabric. I would prefer if you didn't do that. I'm gonna have to move him. He's sitting on all my whips, but it's fine. He'll move eventually. Okay, what am I stitching this on? This is a 32 count Eris from, the fabric is called Eris. It's from Mystic Fabrics, and this was one of the fabric of the months from last year. Yeah, overall, this is looking like really awesome. Loving how this is coming together. I have not started May's release, but that is gonna go up here. So you'll see that next time we speak, but I'm stoked on that. It's looking good. Okay, I've got one more finish for you. This one I was so excited to actually finish. So last month I had a WIPGO call to work on Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow for 7 days. For those who are unfamiliar, which I suppose there's some people who don't know what this pattern is, but it's a very well-known pattern. But this is from Carriage House Samplings. It's Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow. It's a monster. Like this is as some people would call it, a BAP, a big ass project. It's huge. I have finished the first block outside of the back stitch, and I was working on the second block here, and my goal was to finish that block. And I finished it. I finished it! Ah! Okay, so last time we were here, just so you can see how much I did. And here it is, complete. Oh my God, incredible. I love the way this looks. So there's my first 2 blocks. You can see how big this fabric is, like yikes. Ah! It's huge. But I am so excited to be finished this the second block, the first block finish of this year, I suppose I could say. I kind of have like a stretch goal to finish 2 more blocks by the end of the year. That seems like quite the stretch considering how long these 2 blocks have taken me, but it's possible. I'm gonna do my custom pose, my customary pose with the project. What is this? We gotta get this needle minder out of here. I got this from the Witchy Stitchers store. It's like it's a reference to Crimson Peak. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie, but that movie rocks. You should definitely watch Crimson Peak by Guillermo del Toro. Okay, here we go. So excited to be done. Like seriously, look. So cool. Anyway, I had a great time stitching this. Excited to be moving on to the next block, which is, I think, the Headless Horseman. Sure is. Headless Horseman. It's gonna be great. Oh my God, my cat is kneading. He's making biscuits. He looks so cute. I'm not gonna touch my camera. I don't want to set it up again, but believe me, he looks adorable right now. Okay, let's get into my whips. My whips. A lot of whips. I've been touching a lot of things. Okay, so first off, this was a new start last time. I started the Deadly Aquarium Sal by Lola Cross Stitch. That pattern looks like this. So far the frame is the only thing that's been released. Deadly Aquarium. I was like, I don't need another stitch along in my life. I got enough going on. I'm fine without it, but I feel like I've heard so many people say this. The seagulls. The seagulls got me. Look, he's screaming. These guys are just chilling. And I think the aquarium itself looks really, really cool. So I started this last time, and I've been working on this just really in the mornings. Not every morning, but if I have time before work, I'll put in like an hour. This is where I was last time. So just got like a little start on the left-hand side of the enclosure. And now I am over here. Amazing. Let's pull back. Oof. Isn't this cool fabric? I absolutely love this fabric. This is from Witch's Garden Crafts. It is a 28 count even weave called Mystic Falls. So that's what I've got so far. Lola Crow teased where the first release is gonna be on her Instagram the other day. And I wasn't sure where it was gonna go, but it looks like it's gonna go over here in this section. So right now I'm like there. So I'm gonna, by the time the first release comes out, my goal is to like finish this and bring it down. So I think that's totally doable because I got 2 more weeks before that happens. And yeah, there we go. I'm working just with the 310 right now. I'm not like fully completing each section as I go. I figured I might as well just block it out with the 310, and then the fill-in will be a lot easier once that's done. But yeah, this has been like a lot of fun to work with. I like working on this fabric. It's gorgeous, and even weave I'm finding really nice to stitch on. I typically don't stitch on even weave. It's usually like, I don't know, linen, I guess, proper linen. Is even weave a type of linen? What's happening? I think it is, but it's even. It doesn't have the like fat little, you know, occasionally you come across like a big fat thread in your linen. It doesn't seem to have that. I don't know a lot about fabrics, but that's fine. I don't need to. I've just been enjoying stitching on this. Okay, so the next piece I worked on was the Dark Queen of the Earth. So this is a stitch along that started in 2022. I think it's from Autumn Lane Stitchery. And this is one of my goals for a finish this year. I think that's being very hopeful. I don't know if she's actually gonna get finished, but she's gonna get a lot of work regardless. This is what the finished piece looks like. And this is where I was at last time. And I only was able to put in a couple days on her, but I wanted to get something done. So here is my progress. I worked on this side with just one color, filling stuff in here, and then bringing this down. So I'm happy with that. This fabric is a 32 count gilded oak from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's really lovely fabric to stitch with, and I really like the color. Like I think she pops so well off of this one. So worked on this for a couple days, and yeah, just making slow and steady progress. Okay, next whip. So it's May, and I'm kind of doing a couple themes. Okay, so May has been interesting because I do Whip Go, and this month 3 numbers were called because the 13th square was called this month. And for a lot of people, 13 is a free space. And if 13 is called, like an additional number would be picked. So instead of 2 calls for the month, it would be 3. I had a project in slot 13. So I have 3 WhipGo projects I need to work on. And that leaves precious little time for things like Mira May or, what are we calling it? Manning May, I think. Right? That is Manning May. Stitch on a Carolyn Manning piece in May. It's Manning May. It's got to be Manning May. So I'm doing both. And the way I figured I would do it is on Sundays in May, I'm going to stitch on my one Mirabilia piece, and then Mondays in May, I'm going to stitch on my Carolyn Manning. So that's what I'm doing. So I have one day on my Mirabilia Nightingale. Gorgeous. I love this pattern. And I mean, the funny thing is I don't super love stitching white. What? There's so much white, but the blues are what drew me in. Like, oh, this pattern is like super gorge. So anyway, I started this on my birthday. It only had a couple days on it. So I put one more day last Sunday. Oh, here's where I started. Just a bit, you know, just a little start, but we all got to start somewhere, right? And sorry, I'm just trying to fold it down so we can get a better look. And here I am now. So just filling in more of this pale yellow color here. I love the fabric this is stitched on. I bought this on Evertote's website. It is called Cash It In, and it's a 32 count linen. And yeah, there we go. There's my Mirabilia. So with any luck, I'm going to be working on this 3 more times this month, including tomorrow. So every Sunday, I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to put a little more into it. But I'm just so excited to have her done. I know it's going to take a while, but ooh-wee, she's so beautiful. I love her. So there we go. Nightingale. Okay. And we were just talking about Carolyn Manning May. That is a stitch along being put on by 4 Flosstubers. That's Marjorie Made, Cam Stitcher, the Seattle Stitcher, and the Museum Stitcher, who are, all their channels are incredible. I feel like a lot of people know about them already, obviously, but I just love watching all their videos. So much fun. Okay, so yes, this started last year. Basically, pick a piece by Carolyn Manning and stitch it throughout the month of May. So I did just that, and last year I picked a project called the Sunroom Runner, which I thought was so gorgeous. Now it looks like this. So I don't actually think I've touched this since last year. You can see how pretty it is. So last time you saw it, it would have looked like this. Last time I showed this off was likely my whip parade in December. And here is what she looks like now. Okay, what's the top and what's the bottom? I think this is the top. Gorgeous! So I worked on putting the darker greens in along the bottom there and started up top as well. This is super fun to stitch. I'm really enjoying it. This is being stitched on a 16 count, I have it written down, 16 count Country French Cafe Mocha. It's an Ada that I just picked up from 123 Stitch. I got this color specifically because I'm going to skip a bunch of the fill-in. This whole middle section, like this is full coverage, and this whole middle section is like, the background is stitched in. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave the color of the fabric for that and then stitch the other areas. Is it going to look weird? I don't know. We'll see. If it looks odd, I can always fill it in, but I have a feeling I'm not going to do that because that's just going to be very time consuming. But seriously, look at that. It's so stunning. I'm really enjoying working on this. So yeah, I worked on this on Monday, and the goal is to work on it every Monday this month. Okay, I've got my last whip up for you. So this is one of my oldest whips. It is called The Richest Season of the Soul, and it's by Twin Peak Primitives. Ooh, goodness. It looks like this. It's this nice little like autumnal scene. I thought it was really cute. Last time I worked on it, it looked like this. I haven't touched it at all this year, I don't think. And now I feel like I got some pretty good progress on this actually. This was this is a whip go call. I'm supposed to be working on it for 5 days. I have worked on it for 4, and then today is like the 5th day. So you'll be seeing this next video because I am going to be putting a few more stitches in it tonight. Here we go. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Okay, so over the last few days, I've been working in this section here. This area here is completely, oh, not completely, I still need to put some green here, but this whole section here is done. And I've added the sheep, which looks so cute. And then like a couple more leaves here. And this, I don't know what you would call this, like a star. That they have to have a name, right? These things, they have a name. I don't know what the name is, but they're called something. So I've got most of one. So when I pick it up again tonight, what I'm going to do is finish this, put in the second one, because there's one more that goes here, and then work the border. I don't know if I'll get up here, but I'm going to at least try and complete the border on the bottom. So as you can see, we're doing pretty good. There's like an alphabet up here and a couple more of those stars. And then, yeah, the border, like this is definitely getting finished this year. I just love working on it too. It's so beautiful. Oh, it's on I think it's a 28 count linen. Let me just double check. Oh, I lied, 32 count linen. The color is cappuccino, and it's from Weeks Dye Works. I think it's Weeks Dye Works. Anyway, it says Weeks. It said Weeks on the tag. But yeah, I love it. I love it. So cute. Anyway, that's it. That's it for my whips. I don't have any haul. I didn't buy anything. Good for me. But I do have some plans. Okay, so plan-wise, like I said, there were 3 whip go calls this month. So I think the next time we speak is going to be the very first weekend of June. So May's going to be over. So for the rest of the month, I'm going to be working on those whip go calls. So I'm going to be finishing that. That call, the call for the Richest Season of the Soul. I'm going to be working on it today. I'm going to continue Mirabilia's on Sundays and my Carolyn Manning piece on Mondays. And I have to work 5 days on the chopping mall, which is a witchy stitcher piece. It looks like this. I'm trying to finish this year as well. This is my second oldest whip. It's going to get done. It's almost there. And I also got another pull for Hawkrun Hollow. So I'm going to be working 7 more days on that. And I'll be starting this block. So 7 days on this. And then the only other thing I want to do is touch another witchy stitcher piece called We're Made for Each Other. Actually, I have it right here. Let me just pull it out of this bag. So I work on this kind of around anniversaries, and it's my wedding anniversary this month. So I'm going to work a little more on this one. I'm almost done the bride. Well, almost done her face. Her hair is pretty big. So I'm going to be working on We're Made for Each Other for probably 2 days this month, right around our anniversary. And that'll be fun. So yeah, those are my plans. I don't know if I've mentioned, but I am going to StitchCon. I'm going to weekend A. And I am excited and nervous, mostly nervous because I don't like flying. And it's going to be quite the trek for me to get there. I'm going to have to go to Toronto and then transfer and get to Cincinnati. But I am super stoked to go. This is going to be my first in-person cross-stitch retreat. I've done digital ones, but I think the closest retreat that happens to me here is the one that Acorns and Threads puts on in Portland, and I have not gone to that one, but I would like to one day. So yeah, StitchCon's gonna be my very first retreat. I'm like super excited. I can't wait to meet all these people who I am now Instagram friends with and have been watching for like a couple years now. I'm just really excited. I think it's gonna be a good time, and yeah, it'll be my first time in Cincinnati, so fun. I will talk about the projects I'm planning on bringing next video, because I'm going to be doing a video a week before I leave. And, well, I guess not a week before I leave, a few days before I leave, a week before StitchCon actually happens. I'm still planning out what I want to bring there. It would be cool to get a finish so I can ring the bell. There's a bell you ring if you finish a project, and I am hoping to do that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So before we move on, I do want to shout out one Flosstube channel I've been watching, and that is Thread Gremlins. So I think Cam the Stitcher is the first person I heard mention them, and I checked them out, and I think they're just in Washington State, so just below me, and they are so much fun to watch. Just like really cool projects, great personalities. Absolutely adore their channel. I think they have 4 videos out now. Anyway, Thread Gremlins, a lot of fun, brand new, great vibes. Check them out. I'm loving it. Okay, so if you were just here for stitchy stuff, that I am now done talking about stitching. I'm going to be quickly going over what I've been reading, watching, and playing. That should be a pretty short segment right now. I haven't been reading very much. Been busy with other things, but that's fine. So yes, if you were just here for stitching, thank you so much for joining along. Give this video a like. If this is your first time here and you liked what you saw, you could subscribe and like see more of my stuff. I release a video every 3 weeks, so yeah, that's the general cadence you'll expect videos to come out. And yeah, just thank you all for stopping by and watching my little show. Okay, so for those of you who are still around, we'll talk about what I'm reading, watching, playing. Like I said, I haven't really been doing a ton of reading, but what I have read is a bunch of short stories. So I'm not done the collection yet, but I am reading this, Never Whistle at Night, which is a collection of dark fiction stories from Indigenous authors. It's a really gorgeous cover. A friend of mine gave me this for Christmas. I read a few stories, haven't completed it, but it's been good so far. So I've just been dragging this around with me to coffee shops and whatever, and reading in like little chunks. For whatever reason, I just haven't felt the urge to like sit down and have like a focused reading time, you know what I mean? So working on this, what have I been watching? I started the new Fallout show, so that is on Prime. Fallout is based on a video game series of the same name. I've played the games. I haven't completed them or anything, but I've definitely played number 3 and number 4 a little bit. And the television series is like shockingly good. Most things that are adapted from video games, I feel, are like not that great. They're just typically not awesome. But this is pretty entertaining, actually. It follows 3 different characters, or there's a lot of characters, but it's mostly focused on 3 characters. And just how they're kind of connected in this like wasteland, this post-nuclear wasteland. There's a girl who was born in a vault. All she's ever known is living in the vault underground. And something awful happens in that vault, and she leaves on a hunt for her father. She runs into this, like, I don't know if I'd call him undead, but he does not look great. She runs into a ghoul, which is, I guess, something that happens to you when you're exposed to the nuclear, I don't know, the nuclear world for too long. You turn into some disgusting creature called a ghoul. So there's a character who's a ghoul, and then there's a guy who, I can't remember, is it like the Brotherhood of Steel or something? He's part of like this kind of military organization. So their paths cross. I'm like, what, 3 episodes in, maybe? It's been good so far. I'm into it. Yeah, so Fallout's pretty cool. Okay, so another show I've been watching is called The Curse. I don't know if I would recommend this to just anybody. You have to be okay with extremely awkward situations. So The Curse is about a couple who have a TV show that they are making that's been picked up by HGTV called Fliplanthropy, and they are going into this like New Mexico town basically and building, I think, the carbon neutral housing and like trying to improve the community. But the show is like all about them trying to make that show and basically just like how awful they are. And you know, there are people who are like trying to do good, but they aren't actually trying to do good. They're really just trying to improve their own images, and what they're doing is not actually helping the community. It's so so much of it is so awful to watch, simply because it's like insanely awkward. It's made by Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie, who, if you're aware of any of their work, you're going to understand the vibe of the show. I actually have avoided a lot of the stuff the Safdies have made because I think it would give me a panic attack if I watched them. But they made movies like Uncut Gems and, what's the other one with Robert Pattinson? Good Time. I really want to watch Good Time, but I know it's going to make me like, if I check that out. But anyway, they make very like high anxiety type films, and Nathan Fielder, who's like a hometown hero, he's from here, makes extremely awkward, usually like reality TV-ish programs. One of them's Nathan For You, which was, it's not on anymore, but it was a few years ago. It was where he would go in and help business owners improve their business with absolutely batshit insane ideas. And it's like one of the funniest, I think it's one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. It's so well done. And he also did something called The Rehearsal on HBO. Those 2 programs I would definitely recommend. The Rehearsal is like genius. It's so weird. It starts evolving into something completely different, but basically The Rehearsal is about Nathan Fielder is a guy who's going to help you rehearse for something you're extremely anxious about doing. The first episode follows him helping a man rehearse telling his quiz partner, like he's really into like pub quizzes, for instance. So he's helping this guy rehearse tell his quiz partner that he doesn't actually have a master's degree. He's been lying about it for years. He just has a bachelor's degree. I think it's just bachelor's or something. Anyway, it's this bizarre program, or this bizarre problem. And he just takes it to the next level, helping this man rehearse, like builds a whole set for the guy to like walk through the bar and tell his friend. And anyway, it's hilarious. It's so strange. So going into The Curse, the show I'm currently watching, I was expecting kind of a little more, I guess I was expecting it to be a bit funnier. It is not the type of haha funny. It is the type of funny where I feel like I'm grinding my teeth into sand and occasionally screaming because it's so horrifically awkward. But anyway, The Curse is extremely strange. Again, I don't even know if I would classify it as good, but it is something I am continuing to watch and will finish because I'm intrigued to see where it's going to go. Did I even say who was in it? Yeah, Nathan Fielder's in it. Benny Safdie, who co-created it with him, is the cameraman. And Nathan Fielder's wife is played by Emma Stone, who does she's the most interesting character in the show. And she is awful. She's a horrible person. But she's trying not to be, or at least she's trying to convince herself that she's not a bad person. Anyway, I don't know if I'd recommend it, but it is something I'm putting into my eyes. sometimes against my own will. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can handle this right now. Let's just put on another episode. And I just sort of like, just sit through it because it's painful. But it is interesting. I'll give it that. Okay. That's all I've been watching. Oh no, okay. I watched a movie that I want to talk about. I watched Dream Scenario last night, and that was good. It's very strange. A24 produced it, and it has Nicolas Cage playing just this regular, boring university professor who suddenly starts appearing in everybody's dreams. And it kind of spirals out from there. He's kind of this, like, schlubby guy, can't really get his life together, really wants to write a book, thinks someone has stolen his ideas, even though he hasn't even started writing the book. Like, it just feels like he's sort of like in stasis. He doesn't know what to do with his life, and then this weird thing happens to him where he becomes world famous because everyone starts seeing him in their dreams. But yeah, so I really enjoyed Dream Scenario. Nicolas Cage did a really great job. I always enjoy watching Nicolas Cage, though. I am a Nicolas Cage fan. I think he has like a really astounding range for an actor, and he really just commits to every single role he's in, no matter how ridiculous it is. So he's really good in this. It's a very bizarre movie. I will say the dream sequences in this film feel like dreams in a way that I haven't seen in other movies. Like, they get kind of like the weirdness of a dream. I don't know how they do it. There's something with the perspective. There's something weird about them where I'm just like, wow, this feels like I am actually watching a dream right now. Anyway, it's very strange. You get to see a bunch of people's weird ass dreams, Nicolas Cage featuring in all of them. And yeah, that one I would recommend. It's strange and it's pretty funny. But it is dark, I will say. It takes a dark turn. But worth a watch. Okay, and playing. I'm still playing Elden Ring. I found the coolest armor set, though. I'm gonna put a picture up of it because I think it's so awesome. I'm a sorcerer, so this is my sorcerer garb. I've got a giant eyeball for a head. It's not really an eyeball, but it kind of looks like a scrying, not a scrying mirror. What am I trying to say? A crystal ball. That's what I'm trying to say. Looks like a crystal ball. And I've been having a lot of fun with this. I know there are many, many hours before I'm able to finish the game, but I'm not close, but I'm having a good time. I've been playing hours upon hours with my friends, and it's just been a good time overall. But yeah, that's it. That's the video. That's what I've been up to. That's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of stitching, as you can see. I feel like this is the complete opposite of last video, where I just feel like I hadn't really done very much. So yeah, I'm going to be filming another video at the end of June. I'm excited to show you the progress I get up until then. But until then, I hope you enjoy the rest of your month. And I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye-bye.